All right, you're very welcome along to our very special Galway Races Paddy Power show. We're here today in the Paddy Power in Prospect Hill. Hello, Prospect Hill. There you go. We didn't try that once.
That wasn't planned at
that
all.
That wasn't scripted whatsoever.
It always must be live.
John Duggan, you're welcome to the show. How are you?
A good Ger and Paddy and Joe and everybody here at Prospect Hill. Come on! Come on! Let's get you some winners.
He obviously had a good night. I also want to, at this point, take an opportunity to say hello to the master tipster, Ruby Walsh. Ruby, how the hell are you? Good morning to you.
I'm great, how are you?
Yeah, well, we're not as good as you are because you tipped a 26 or 30 odd one.
28 to 1.
28 to 1 winner live on the show yesterday. That's good punting.
That's called luck. I'm not reading the script. I'm not having a clue what I was supposed to do. I thought I had to give a tip in every race, and next thing is you wanted me to spend £100. So I'm sitting there panicking, thinking, what am I going to tip? And David Casey had mentioned that he thought Great White Shark would run well, so I just tipped Tor at 28 to 1. So you might as well be honest. No point in taking the plaudits. It wasn't my idea.
Well, it was nearly a knockout blow. So we're here to get Ruby versus Punter up and running. Joe has £100 every day. Ruby has £100 every day, and Joe's £100 yesterday almost. You hit the crossbar a couple of times, almost did okay, but not quite in the end.
Yeah, today's another day.
Today's another day. That's the spirit. How was your day yesterday, Paddy?
Great day, yeah. I mean, you were asking me yesterday about some tips for getting through the Galway week and stamina-wise, and I was just making the point that it's very important to pace yourself and to remember it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I felt like as a professional broadcaster that I should really test that theory, and I did test the theory, and yes, I should have taken it easy and should have thought about the stamina of the week, but it turned into one of those nights where you go out for one and you end up having 21.
Yeah, and they are the reasons why Galway is such a spectacular place for a festival. Ruby, talk to us a little bit about the opening day. Great White Shark is obviously a great story. It's an amazing comeback story from a jockey perspective as well. So what was your takeaway from yesterday?
Oh, it was brilliant for Jodie Townend. She obviously is well documented since that she had a bad fall and broke a few vertebrae in her back last October, and they got infected and numerous operations. But it was brilliant for her. It's, racing, if you keep trying, there's loads of chances to be had. On a whole, I thought there was great racing there. I thought Joseph O'Brien had a winner in 4 seconds. He was unlucky not to have an absolute beano of a day. I thought Authorised Art was disappointed in the first, but I thought Davy Russell was brilliant on the winner lethal step. So, as Joe said, today's a new day.
Yeah, and what's the confidence like in the Mullen Yard at the moment about how they're going? Because it was looking like it was going to be a difficult day up until Jodie Townend came home with that one.
Yeah, but what did we run at that stage? Just Authorised Art. We had big chances in that race. The bumper horse was disappointing. Think positive. He'll probably go jumping now. He's probably not going to win a bumper. But I think Mr. Adjudicator was a bit unlucky, but that's Galway. He got caught in the traffic, and that happens.
Yeah,
the race course can be rather like Eyre Square as well.
Yeah, so that was interesting because we were chatting about that off air. That getting caught in traffic like that, it doesn't mean the horse isn't good. It just means that that's how that race went, and you would definitely be keeping that horse on side in future.
Oh, definitely. You might reappear on Friday night, but look, that's what happens. It's riding a race is like driving in the motorway. You get in the wrong lane, and all of a sudden the car you're behind on your outside is 50 cars up the queue, and you're still where you were. Racing can be like that too.
Yeah. All right. Paddy, what did you make of the racing yesterday?
I thought it was very competitive. It was good, like Ruby says, plenty of drama. Opened up with loads of drama in the first, and that Paddy RIP or whatever it was called, Joe's tip.
Rip Rock
the saddle slipped or something happened anyway, and the jockey fell off anyway on the flat and caused all sorts of mayhem. And then Davy Russell just got through up the rail. That was a very dramatic start to the week. And again, there's loads of stories. We just got front run wins. We had wins from behind as well. So good close finishes. Yeah,
and you were talking to Johnny Murphy, syndicate manager for Linger.
Yeah, rugby and racing. I think there's 18 in the syndicate, so a mixture of rugby and racing aficionados. And the horse as well backed into 9-4, came home in front, as Ruby was saying, Joseph O'Brien. Just great to see syndicates winning at Galway, and hopefully now there's 52 races this week. There'll be more of that. I thought the Innisfree Sheckham race was a good race. I think you can take those two horses now into next season. And Jodie Townend was obviously the standout story, and she gave it a really good composed ride and timed it well to finish like a train and win.
Ruby, for your €100 for Ruby versus Punter, what are you looking at spending today?
Well, I read the script, so I know what I'm supposed to do now. So this means I have no chance of tipping another winner. But I'm going to go all in, €50 each way in the big Colin Quinn mile on Salt on Stall.
Okay, so the Colin Quinn mile.
Aidan McGuinness.
All right.
Aidan McGuinness, Colin Keane. The draw is the only worry. It's in stall 14. but I thought it was very unlucky in the Curragh the last day when it was fourth and Jassar finished second. I thought with a run it would have won that day, so I'm going to go with Salt on Stall.
What odds are we looking at?
That horse has been back this morning, actually, Sol on Sol. So it's come down a lot in the weights. Ran in the race last year, didn't have the best of runs, but the horse is generally solid, was about 8-1 solid now, 8-1.
You might give him 10s, so we should probably give Ruby 6s, though, 'cause he's so far ahead.
Try and even it up a bit.
Give him 10-1 for that one.
Okay, 10 to 1.
50 each way.
50 each way and Salt on Stall. This is at the 740, number 12. Ruby, good stuff. We'll let you go. Thanks very much.
Thanks a million.
Is there anything else you think we should be looking out for today?
I thought Fast Book would win the first, but he's even money. I thought 0-10 would win the second, and I thought Azira might turn the form with Petit Moustique in the third.
All right, on that note,
Quick,
Ruby.
quick fire treble.
Yeah. Ruby, good
Yeah,
stuff.
well, they're all going to be short enough, so you want to treble them up.
Yeah.
Make sure you take as much money as you can off of Paddy.
Thanks, Ruby, as always.
Thanks.
No worries, Pat.
Thanks, Ruby. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Ruby.
Bye-bye.
Just on the note, the two he said there, Fast Book and the first, that's one of our, we do enhancements for the lads in the shop here today. So Fast Book is evens, but you're getting 6-4 in the shop here for 100 quid. And 0-10 was only 5-6 when the traders gave us this enhancement. So we're going to pretend it's still 5. It's actually 4-7 now, but you're getting 5-4 about him for 100 quid. So you definitely should back the two of them because you're getting good prices.
5-4 on 0-10 and 6-4 on Fast Book.
Oh shite, I forgot the traders are probably watching
It's
this.
the first and the second
I'll be
one.
sacked anyway.
That's how it works. And what did he say was the third one he thought was going to overturn?
It was Azila, the Dermot Wells
Azila.
horse, was his second favourite in the third race. He finished second to the favourite last time out, but that was his first run. So
Okay, so that's Ruby's quick fire treble at the start of this. Joe, what are you going for your 100 quid today to try and make up the gap?
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but again, going back to Killarney 2 weeks ago, horse called Marshall Jennings, Jessica Harrington, Tom Madden.
What race is this in?
Is in the 740.
740, okay.
He's around the 20-1. I thought he was a horse being laid out for Galway. I want to put 25 each way on him.
Can I just ask you, when you say you think this is a horse being laid out for Galway when you're down in Killarney, how do you know? What are you looking for? What do you see? Why do you think, all right, that looks like a Galway horse?
Well, when horses are up there and they come into the last furlong and a half, and the jockey is sitting nice and quiet on him and he's not bustling them about a bit, and usually there's another day someplace.
Right.
And coming up that close to Galway, you'd put it in your head, if you were a punter, a race scorer, you'd say, well, I'll mark him down for Galway.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense. Marshall Jennings, number 3 in the 740.
22-1. Shall we give him 25-1?
Nice one. 25-1, and that's 25 each way. You could do with that coming in.
Yeah. You might give me 33-1.
Sure, go on, we give him 33-1 to try and catch Ruby.
Try catch
There'll
Ruby.
be nothing more annoying than Ruby winning this.
And then
You have another 50 quid left.
yeah, and then in the 8-10, again going back to Killarney, John Murphy and Colin Kane have a horse called Sharp Focus.
Sharp Focus, number 13.
Yeah, 1 in Killarney and 1 going away.
Right.
And again, if he puts in the same run today, he'll take a lot of beating.
Okay. Must be a shorter price, is he?
I think he's around the 8-1.
8-1.
He's 7-1, so I love the way he says, I think he'll be around it. He knows well he's 7-1. So we'll give him 10s. I really want him to catch Ruby, so we're going to give him 10s.
I'll have 50 win at 10s on Sharp Focus.
Okay, so the 50 to win.
Yeah.
So that's a straight win bet.
Yeah.
Bet. Okay, all right. Nice one. You're definitely trying to make up the gap. So just to confirm, Ruby was 1,110 euros to the good off his €100 stake yesterday, which wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You'd take that profit on your first day. Joe ended up with €68.75. So you had a place on Mills win, 25 each way.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, look. Every day's a school day, as Ruby would tell you.
Yeah.
Look, let's go through the card here, lads, and try and get some winners for the people in the shop. So your enhancements for the people in the shop, if I just want to remind everybody, Fast Book out to 6-4 from evens in the first. There's only five horses in this. We were chatting about it off air.
Yeah.
Is that people are scared of Willie in the first?
I don't know, maybe just like, I don't know. They probably this rate it has been farmed by the Mullins yard in the past, but there's probably 4 of the 5 have a chance today. Do you know what I mean? I know Ruby's pretty confident about Fast Book, but there's been money around for Charles Burns' horse Turnpike Trip. There's the tip around, I think, for Fine Brunello. Road to Dubai is Gordon Elliott's possibly a bit of value. He won the first race yesterday, so I mean Fast Book will be favourite, but he's not going to go very, very short. He's 11-10. I think he's going to be around that, maybe even a little bit bigger.
Okay, what are the other horses in that race? What kind of prices are they?
So you got Road to Dubai, the second favourite is Fine Brunello, 130, and then 9 to 2 each of Road to Dubai and Turnpike Trip. So and then the Quantamental is 33 to 1, the outsider.
Big out prices on a small field, isn't it? That's a...
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's competitive. Normally, if you get a small field, if you've got one very short price favourite, you can have some rags in there, but yeah, I think it's pretty competitive.
John Duggan, what's your take on this race?
I don't like it as a betting prospect. I think one of three could win it. Fastbook could win it. Very short though, even money. Turnpike Trip is 7s this morning into 5s, around 9 to 2 now. As Paddy was saying there, Fine Brunello, pretty solid in the market, hasn't had a recent run, but Joseph, as we saw Joseph O'Brien, really good yesterday. Not a race for me to have a bet in. You
were saying follow the money all day yesterday, and that's exactly what happened with Ruby's tip yesterday. Came all the way into 8 to 1.
That was a crazy gamble. Like, that was 25s into 8s. Follow the money. That's why, first thing this morning at 6 o'clock, I was going through what was being backed, and I've seen, we'll go through them, but I've seen serious contractions, and I don't think it's just bookmakers shortening the odds for margins.
All right. Joe, did you want to say something about the first race?
Yeah, I like Fran Brunello. He's been running in very good company. I know he hasn't had a run, but he's been running against Band of Outlaws, and I think Band of Outlaws is favourite for the Galway Hurl, or near enough favourite. He'll give it what beats him will win the race.
All right. Okay. So Fine Brunello is your take in the first one. Let's move on to the second race. This is a much bigger race. 2 miles, 2 furlongs, a beginner's chase. John Duggan, what do you like in this one?
Well, I think 0-10. That there's money for in the chase for an odds-on shot, and even more money for it. Just shows how much this horse could be ahead of the others. It was a point winner, good over hurdles, has got a bit of class. Emma Mullins had the last winner yesterday, and 0-10 should win if he stands up. But an 18-runner beginner's chase at Galway, yeah, anything could happen. Like, a horse he could be brought down. I wouldn't be laying into him or steaming into him at odds on. Once again, I think he's the most likely winner. And just to kind of give your punters a sense of what's been back this morning, JP McManus colours always have to be feared. Doesn't matter what the price is. I remember a horse called Creon going in at like 50 to 1 at Cheltenham one year. Everlasting Promise has gone from 66s into 50s. That's number 3. And the Bulger's horse. And another horse that's pretty solid today in the betting. One in all in, number 7. Garroda Loughlin into 20 to 1. But the fact that the 0-10 has been backed into odds on, from odds on, he should win the race. The Holy One is the only horse that would have got near him over hurdles.
Okay. How do you like anything in that?
Yeah, I kind of agree with John. I think it'd be 0-10 yeah, it's good course form and all that, but for beginner's chase is beginner's chase, so it's going to be hard. I mean, you'd be very brave back from 4 to 7. Actually, the one he mentioned was one I was going to tip up each way is 1 in, all in, just because it's a beginner's chase and he has a little bit of experience. He's running a handicap and he's got kind of a bit more experience than some of the other horses, so the trip's going to suit him. The extra 2 furlongs will suit him, and the experience might just stand him. I think he could get in the money. He's about 20 to 1, like John said.
Okay.
1 in, all in, number 7.
Where does a horse like 0-10 end up if it is as good as everybody thinks today? Like, can you go from being a summer horse in Galway to being a good winter horse?
Well, you see, Balco de Flo won a Galway plate here and turned up and won at Cheltenham. So you are getting better class horses now. Like, I'm not going to say it's an Arkle horse for next year, but it could be a good handicap chaser over fences, over 2 miles, because he does jump well, and you need to jump well over shorter distances.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the 625, the Colin Quinn BMW Irish EBF Fillies Maiden. There you go. This is 7.
Rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it? 625. So here we are at this one, and we don't have any tips for this, do we?
Well, we do, because Ruby said Azila.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's right.
So it's a petite. I'll tell you. I'll give you a quick run out of the form. Petite Musique number 10 is a favourite, 11 to 8. That finished in front of Azila the last day, but that was Azila's first run. Azila's 3 to 1, and so there's talk around for Azila today, and I guess the theory is that, especially with maidens first time out, it's very hard to win. The horses really learn from their first time out, so Azila might have come on a lot for that and might be able to turn the form around with Petite Musique, and and that's the theory behind it. Jessica Harrington had a great season with the youngsters, and as I've just said, it's hard to win first time out. She's got one in there, Chasing the Dawn, that has a chance first time out, but I'm just probably going to edge for Azila.
Okay, Chasing the Dawn looks like it could be a big price, is it?
6 to 1.
6 to 1.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you like here, Joe?
Yeah, I like the bottom horse, Too Soon to Panic. Had a good run in Leopardstown. I think it'll go very well. Travel well in Leopardstown. If it travels as well today, it'll take a lot of beating.
And that might be appropriately named for you, because you're
Yeah, that's why I'm picking
You'll
it.
make it back. You'll make it back, Jake.
That's number 12. Too Soon to Panic is Joe's fancy in this one. John, what do you like? What's the betting telling you?
Well, my blog has just gone up on Off the Ball, and my €2 out of my €10, and this race has gone on Too Soon to Panic, which is drifting now in the market to about 130. But that was a very good run at Leopardstown. Got in trouble. Don't know why it's drifting, actually. Who knows? But Fozzie Stack knows the time of day, and Too Soon to Panic, if it improves, definitely I think has got a good chance, about 130, just over 3-1. A bit of money for Mythic in the colours of Mrs. Aidan O'Brien. That's the orange colours, number 9, into 16-1. Bit of money for that this morning. But I'm going with Too Soon to Panic.
Okay.
By the way, that Chasing the Dawn that was mentioned, Peter Saville, who owns that, I think was like the boss of the Jockey Club or UK Racing or something years ago. So he's got horses now, Jesse.
And it was his birthday yesterday, I read in the Racing Post, I think.
There you go.
I might have dreamt that, but if I dreamt that, that's a weird dream. But anyway.
These little omens.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you stay out to 3 o'clock. Right, 7:05, the Caulfield Industrial Irish DBF Maiden. This is for another 7 furlong. There's Big Owl Field in this one. 16 going to post, it looks like. John, anything in the money telling you here?
What's Limit Long, the favourite, is drifting out to 3s. Money for 2 horses. Once again, Peter Saville, number 10, Dancing on a Dream. Jessica Harrington, 7s into 5s. De Dillon, 7s into 13-2. Andrew Slattery. Money as well for Mia Comet into 20-1, number 12. The horse I've gone for in this one, at 9-1 for €1 each way, is Risha Levy, Ger Lyons, Colin Keane. Great partnership. The horse has been disappointing, hasn't won broken his maiden duck yet, but did run well last time in a handicap at Ferry House. That was a good run, and off a bad draw, and Risha Levy could be one to finally break the duck here today.
Ger Lyons having a good season so far. What do you like in this?
I think this is a pretty crap race, to be honest. I mean, I think it's pretty weak, so it's winnable. And the one I fancy has a disgracefully bad draw 19, Royal Highness. But because the race is so weak, I saw Royal Highness kind of travel really strongly and stay on quite well the last time. So I think Royal Highness could be a bit of value at around 6-1 in a pretty weak race.
Okay. Joe, any thoughts on this race?
Yeah, I go for Dermot Weld in this race. I know he has a bad draw. He's drawn 18. If you look at his form, 5th, 4th last time out. Looks very much like getting ready for Galway.
Is this Tranchy?
Tranchy, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So number 8, Tranchy, in that one is Joe's tip. There's 3 more races for us to get through here. And is this the big race of the day next that we're going to? It is, yeah. 7:40. So Salt on Stall, Aidan McGuinness's horse. 50 quid each way at 8-1 was Ruby's tip a little bit earlier on, if anybody missed it. Paddy, what do you like here?
Okay, there's a couple of probably pointless but interesting stats nonetheless that I'd say John will be interested because he's a bit of an anorak, if you don't mind me saying.
I'm a nerd, Paddy, don't worry.
Exactly. So
you can say it.
This is your job now, your homework is to look up this. Somebody said to me that the horse drawn 10 wins this race nearly every year, which is a freakish stat. So Rufus King, Mark Johnson sent over Rufus King. It's only I was reading today in the paper, it's only his second runner in 20 years or something. It's sent one over, yeah, and he's in flying form. He just had a record number of winners in the UK. So his horses are flying. It's owned by an Irish fella, but it's a 12-1 shot, drawn 10. Rufus King, so he's got a big chance, I think. I also quite like Only Human for Jessica Harrington, number 4, drawn 7, and I mean I'm not going to follow in with Ruby on Salt on Stall, but that obviously has a decent chance, but a bad draw. So Rufus King and Only Human for me.
Okay, so Only Human for Jessica Harrington, number 4, and Rufus King is number 11. Salt on Stall is number 12, by the way. Aidan McGuinness has 2 horses in the race. The other one is one we know very well, is Aussie Valentine, who we had ownership of for a day at Leopardstown.
Never been the same since, the poor horse.
A couple of times out ago now, and Aussie Valentine likes an old clip along. Doesn't like the pace to change that much. Needs to, to be a fairly even pace. I don't know if that's going to be the case today. If we can tell, are there some front runners he could just sit in behind and drag him along? Has he any chance, John?
I don't know. He's got a chance, but it's for small money each way. But it would be ironic if he won. You can get him at 33-1 in some places. So, but I can't see him winning. No.
Okay. What did you make of Salt on Stall? Why does that have a better chance?
He's gone down hugely in the weights. So he's now much better handicapped than he used to be. I was looking at him last night. Actually, rang a friend. What you think? And he goes Salt on Stall. There's 2 reasons I'm put off him. As Paddy said, the draw, and also he ran poorly in the race last year. Is
a mile and a furlong not long enough for the draw not to matter that much?
Yeah, that's a good point. You're on the kind of cusp of it mattering or not mattering, but it is better to have a better position. But I know what you're saying. He's drawn 14. If he does get a good break, then he is definitely well handicapped. and Ado, I'd say, would have targeted this race for a while. So Ruby, I wouldn't put anybody off.
Right. Joe, you're up against it basically is what I'm hearing.
I'm still sticking with Marshall Jennings. On his Killarney running, he was drawn 13 in Killarney, led all the way to the last furlong. Jockey sat there nice and quietly. If he gets to the front today and there's trouble behind, he'll be thereabouts.
Okay, so Marshall Jennings around about 20 to 1.
The one I've gone for is Jassar, Dermot Weld, about 4 to 1. I think he's a class horse of the race. And he was behind Sir Eric last year over 1 mile 2. So people are saying he might not stay. I think he's a class horse of the race, Jassar. He's mine.
Is he the favourite?
No, Numerian has been back this morning. Joseph and Dunica again into 7 to 2 in places. Numerian, number 10.
A horse that finished 5th at Royal Ascot, no less. But 3-year-old though, 3-year-olds have never won the race, is that right? Something like that.
Not for a long time.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that Joseph had a win in 4 seconds yesterday, so his horses are in good form.
I didn't realise that either. Finger on the pulse, obviously.
I didn't think that as well. I know you had the one winner, but it's funny when you're not looking at the seconds and the thirds. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So everybody has a different horse. It turns out in the 740, in the 810, it's a big outfield again. It's another mile and 1 furlong race. What do you like here, John?
I've napped for €2 each way. Danny's Boy, number 15. Rachel Blackmore in a flat race. Course and distance winner. If it comes back to form with Pat Fahey, an astute trainer, I think Danny's Boy, despite once again a draw of 10, I think might have an each way squeak here, and has been money for it this morning as well.
What price are you saying it? Sorry,
12 to 1.
12 to 1.
Danny's Boy.
Danny's Boy, number 15 in the 8 to 10 is John's nap of the day. Rachel Blackmore each way. Okay, Joe, what have you got for us?
Yeah, Sharp Focus. I had the €50 win on it. 1 in Killarney, 1 as it liked in Killarney. It'll go very, very close today.
Okay, so Sharp Focus. What number is that? Sorry.
Number 13.
Number 13, Sharp Focus, and that's your €50 bet. Paddy, big race like this, I find it hard to get too confident about any of the tips that I'm hearing. It's like
I think in a race of this, don't be afraid to back a couple. So I'm going to tip 1 with a terrible draw and 1 with a good draw. Right. So the first one is the top horse, Serious Dallin, and it's drawn very wide. So it's not great, but it's 13 to 2. But I'll tell you why, because it's owned by a syndicate called the Westerner Syndicate. So I'm guessing they're from the West, right? And it's had a couple of quiet runs, so I'm guessing it's been laid out for Galway. Like every bloody horse in the race has been laid out for Galway. This is the plan. But so Dennis Hogan's obviously shrewdy, so that's the trainer. So I think Serious Dallin has a decent chance. But the one I really like is actually drawn plum draw, number 1, stall 1. It's number 10, Mona Bell, Joe Murphy. It's about a 16 to 1 shot. Hasn't run for, 250 days or something like that. So if he's fitting well, I'm just assuming that the horse is fit and ready to go because it's Galway. He's wearing a tongue tie for the first time. I just think he could just get a handy position, and he has form at the track from before. So 16 to 1 shot, Mona Bell from each way.
Gary Halpin on board for that one. So number 10, Mona Bell, is Paddy's tip in that one, or his second tip after Serious Dallin. And then the final race of the day, where hopefully we're all going home happy. Has there been any significant movement in the market here, John?
Beckwith Place is now 4 to 1 from 5 to 1, and a few nibbles. Sagittarius Rising, number 6 from 25s to 16s. Shifted Strategy, small money for that. But they're the main ones. Lincoln a bit of money for that as well. But yeah, Sagittarius Rising is the biggest mover of the outsiders. But Beckwith Place is a solid favourite. Ronald Whelan riding for Tracy Collins, number 4, Beckwith Place.
What kind of price Beckwith Place?
4 to 1.
4 to 1 is the favourite at the moment in this. Paddy, what do you like?
I think the bet of the day, the NAP, the NAP, is Beckwith Place.
Right.
I think just based on very unlucky at Belliostown, had won before and only got £4, I think, and has a really great draw as well. Drawn 6 is perfect. So sometimes you can be drawn too well, to be honest, you get stuck on the rail, but drawn 6 is just about perfect. And I know it's 4 to 1. It's not, you're not going to get rich, but it's just going to win.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, a winner at the end of the day is all anybody asked for in the last race. So, Joe, what have you got?
Yeah, I'm going to go for Red Striker, Gerald Lyons and Colin Keane. He was 40s last time out. He's in there with a big shout as well. I think he's 5-6 to 1, someplace around there.
Okay, is that about right, John? 5-6 to 1 for Red Striker.
Red Striker, yeah. You can get bigger in other places, but we're only looking at what we have here right in front of me. So
would never ever suggest that you might actually go and get a bit of value elsewhere if somebody's a bigger price, obviously.
Yeah. What's that thing?
Loyalty's dead. Isn't that what they say?
What's that kind of thing when you speak before you think?
Yeah.
I'll never be invited back.
All right, so in terms of the general atmosphere yesterday, Owen Sheehan came back a little bit shocked at how many people there were at Galway Races. He was like, "Oh, there's a lot of people there." Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was good. There was like the buzz around town. I was like, "Who are all these people who can go drinking on a Monday night?" I'm like, "Fair play to them," is what I say.
Yeah. Do people in Galway get the day off?
I don't know. Is there like a special kind of?
It's like in school in Punchestown, you used to get the day off school, didn't there?
Exactly.
A half day or something.
Yeah, we did, and for the ploughing as well. There were a lot of those kind of handy half days. Leo Varadkar was out there yesterday. That was the sum total of his celebrity watching. Did you see anybody else?
I didn't see Boris Johnson, put it that way. But yeah, no, like it's just like I was walking out there before the final races, going, "God, this is busy here today." It feels like I'll be at Cheltenham, So
Friday night last year was the busiest in terms of the raw numbers. Michael Meehan was telling us, and that obviously Ladies' Day is huge, the plate is huge, the handicap is huge. So today's kind of the last quiet day.
Yeah, relatively quiet day. And I don't have a bet in the last, and I'm not recommending a bet in the last because you just need to not lose your head here. Like it's easy just to get completely carried away here. So yeah, I just can't wait for some really good racing. The plate tomorrow. This mile handicap is very competitive this evening, and just be sensible, folks, please.
Go easy out there. It's like Jerry Springer. A reminder that we're here for Ruby versus Punter in all of the Paddy Power shops around the country. You can go in and pitch your wits against the tipster prowess that is, it turns out, Ruby Walsh. There's a leaderboard behind the counter in all of those places. The one here in Prospect Hill at the moment, unfortunately, has Ruby miles ahead of your own local representative Joe. But he's doing the right thing. He's going for it today, Paddy. Right?
He is going for it, and that's the plan. And actually, can I just do one quick giveaway, because we have I've 2 tickets for Ladies' Day for Thursday, which is obviously expensive to get in, all that kind of stuff. So 2 tickets, and I'm not going to raffle them off because I'm going to give them to. There's somebody here today, I think he's here, who was our first ever customer to walk through the door. I'm not saying he's our oldest customer, but he was the first ever customer to walk through the door of this shop back in 1988. So Joe Cleary, if you're here, I've 2 tickets to the race. Probably the last thing you want is to go racing on Thursday. But nonetheless, there's 2 tickets here, Joe, for you, so well done.
On brand with the cap and everything.
And he's been wearing that hat since 1988. I'll have to say that he said, instead of the tickets to Ladies' Day, can you get him one of the ladies? I know. Good to see you.
Good man. Thanks very much. Right. On that note.
Yeah, on that.
Right, that's the end of today's show. If you missed any of it, don't worry, we'll cut it all up on all of our social channels, and it'll be available as well in some of the Paddy Power shops around Ireland and the UK. After our 28-1 performance from Ruby yesterday, here's hoping that we've backed or picked some winners for you again today. We'll see you tomorrow on OTB AM. Best of luck. Thanks, lads. Cheers.
Cheers.
Good luck.